recession happened, of course, all of us were like gasping because there was no money to sell. You couldn't get money out of the country to buy goods and everything like that. But I tell you something, that was our best year. That was our year of growth. You know why? Because people could not import. And when people cannot import, what do? They have to rely on what's in-house. And when it's in-house, then you have to be better. So it was a case of, we started producing everything in-house. And when we were producing in-house, we were being more innovative. We were getting better quality stuff also because people were coming back into the workplace. And we were able to up our game. So, in fact, I find my foreign suppliers now are saying, where are you? We haven't seen you for a while. But I mean, it will be very difficult for me to go back. Because as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm not Igbo, but there's an Igbo saying that when the masquerade is coming, you should be ready to jump because you don't know which way he's going to turn. I don't know, how do you say it in Igbo?
I know it too, but I don't know how it is.
Yes. It's nice for that particular second, but nobody is waiting. Time is waiting for no man. So you definitely you have to make sure that you're always improving. The Japanese do that. They call it continuous improvement, kaizen. At every one point, you're sitting there, you're wearing your green and white outfits, right? And you're thinking, how can I make it better? How can I make it cheaper? How can I make it faster? We must stop wasting time in Nigeria where we think that because we have to wait for this, we have to wait for that. That's a waste of your time. If your time, you have to cost your time. If your time is, you have 8 hours in a day, but you can only achieve 4 hours work because you're waiting for things, then you're stabbing yourself in the back. You know, you're not going to be able to produce and produce effectively. So going back to what I was saying, during the recession, we excelled. We moved from strength to strength. We were producing in-house, and I found that our customers were actually saying, look, we'll come to you instead of importing from abroad, and that made a big difference to me. I was very happy about that. So the next thing that we did, we tried retail, always adjusting. Tried retail because we felt we had the machines, we had the staff, we had the equipment and everything like that, but we didn't have, at that point, people were not really buying. So we said, okay, what we're going to do is we'll start a retail line. That didn't work for me. When something doesn't work, well, I'll tell you why it didn't work for me. I'm not a fashion person, I'm a production person. So there's no point, you cannot do everything. You cannot be the one selling here, selling there, doing everything like that. So I decided to stick to my core. My core is bulk production. We have machines that can do 1 or 2 t-shirts, but those are the one-offs. Those are the ones where people say, okay, well, it's my birthday and I want something, you know, so I want an additional t-shirt. But majority, we're doing 400, 500, 5,000, 10,000, whatever, those kind of numbers. And you have to stick to what you are best at. When you do your bulk, you make sure that as much as possible, there's consistency. So if you sew your shirts, this shirt that you're wearing, the Emirates shirt, and on 10 of them, you have the stripes are, 2 inches apart. The next time is 3 inches apart. The next time is 4 inches apart. Your client is not going to take you seriously. Has to be consistent. Has to be perfect. This is what that they say it can fly. Ban it from your organization. When they say it's okay, okay means that it's manageable. That doesn't mean that it's perfect or that it's good. So aim for perfection. Be so good that they can't ignore you. Then people will come to you. So those are the kind of things I want to talk about. I want to just encourage everybody because Nigeria is hard, but we always excel. We're like, I don't want to say like a cockroach, but you know what I mean. You kill us here, we jump up there, you know what I mean. So we have the resilience and we can actually achieve everything that we have to. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them because I think it's very important. When I started, I didn't really have anybody to help me. So I'm always willing to help, I'm always willing to advise, and always willing to mentor. If you have people that you can look up to, and it doesn't have to be in your industry, just people that you admire their ethics, or admire their work, the way they work, or the kind of business that they do, it's always good to attach yourself to somebody because you will learn a lot from what they're doing. Okay, take for instance packaging. We all need packaging. So when you think about your industry, don't think about I'm just producing. You should be targeting all of us. During our recession, our masquerade time, we went for food and drink fairs. Why? Because we were producing bottles. we were producing packaging, we were producing bags for different things. So we approached all the food and drink vendors and said, we can do this for you, they can do that for you. You need to be very, very widely versatile. You can't sit and be waiting. Look at Nokia. Nokia was, the kingpin. Where are they now? You cannot wait. But time waits for no man. In the old days, you'd go to a bank and wait for 1 week before you get your ATM card. Now you go there, it happens within seconds for you, or within minutes. There was a time where you would go to a bank, you fill your form, you come back in the afternoon to collect your money. That doesn't happen again in the last 30 years. Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. We need to move fast. I take a lot of interns because I believe in the next generation, there's a limit to how much. I have the tenacity, but it's always good to listen to new ideas and to listen to the youth, because you guys think about also things in a different way. So have different types of people in your organization. Whether you have your people who have experience, you have your people who have innovation, you have your people who are risk takers, you balance them out with the ones who will make sure that compliance is done. If you have all those different kind of people in your organization, whichever organization that you are, you will find that even if I want to go too fast, somebody will pull me back a bit and say, no, let's think about this. The main thing I would say about, especially in Nigeria, we have a cultural problem here, where we see people doing wrong and we don't say. Now, if you do that in your organization will fail. Because if we cannot speak frankly to each other, if you cannot say to your colleague what you're doing is wrong, right, you're going to have a problem. We do a lot of barako here. We won't say until the thing it leaks out or becomes a problem. What you're doing is that you're actually damaging yourself. So you need to think about it. Everybody, I'm not saying that, don't take it personally, but somebody is supposed to do their job, they're supposed to do their job. You need to be able to hold people accountable. This is where we have problems as a nation. We cannot take it into our homes, or we cannot take it into our business, or we cannot take it into our lives. We need to be able to say, this is your job, you've done it 80%. This is your job, you've done it 30%, you need to go. And I will, like in my own place, what we do is that we choose people for attitude. Attitude is more important than anything else. Once you have the right attitude, we can train you. And you have if you have the ability, but you may not know how to do something in particular, we'll train you. If we train you in this field and you may not suit you, we move you to another section. If by the third time we moved you can't pick, then we have to drop you. And we find that everybody that we do that for, they still are part of our bigger family. Whenever we're doing events or whatever, they still come because they understand that we were trying to assist. And the ones who pick it, my God, they go on to bigger and better. Because if in your organization they ask you to do something extra, you say, that's not my job. Okay, it's not your job, but your job could be taken by another person who is willing to do that same thing. So try and learn as much as you can. Like recently in our organization, we trained everybody on QuickBooks and Excel and all sorts of things. This is something that you would have to pay for normally by yourself. The organization is doing it for you, and you need to value that. You need to value and pick up, whether it's you may say, what's my business with that? You'll be surprised. It will affect you. You can use it for so many things. There's no information or no knowledge that is wasted. So most important, just put yourself out there and keep trying. And like I told my Yaba people yesterday, most important, we have millions of fashion designers. We don't have the people that we really, really need. How many fashion designers can succeed? Out of Yaba College of Tech, you have Ejiro, you have quite a few people, but if you look at the percentage of people who actually succeed or get to a higher level, it's not so many. What we need, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of production or factories, we need production supervisors, we need technicians, we need people who are artisans who understand the craft, people who can repair machines. I can tell you that people who can repair machines properly or give a good service, there's no amount of money we will not pay you to do the right thing. And business etiquette, we talked about that yesterday as well. If somebody calls you, please answer. If you can't answer, you send a message, you respond, you don't lie, all those kind of things, just to make people know that you're a person of value. once a person knows that you're a person of value, even if you fail once or twice, they will still support you. But if we have technicians, let's say in our field, that it doesn't matter how good they are, we have to drop them. Because it's always auntie, I'm on my way, I'm coming. They're not even in the Lagos state. You know, and they waste your time and all those kind of things. Those kind of things actually take down organizations. And good people who are struggling every day are failing because of all these kind of things. So we need to be fastidious in what we're doing. And if there are enough of us in our little sectors who are doing right, eventually the country will start picking up. It's not somebody else that's going to do it for us. It's us that's going to do it for ourselves, and they will do it for others. So if there are no questions, I'll bow out and I'll say thank you very much for listening. God bless you all.
I actually want to say thank you for this brief sermon. There's something that just caught my interest here, the training. And I have always been an advocate of trying to see how people could grow, how we could do training. Is there a way we could collaborate? Because I also spoke about something like that with GFIC, and then see how we could create something and come to bring out. If you go to the US and other places, they do trainings from state to state and do for trainings for people to be able to grow as entrepreneurs. So coming together as a team will also help us to be able to bring up the younger ones that really want to come into the business, because by the time we keep growing, we need people to come from under to grow, because the country is wide enough. If you talk about screen printing, most people don't really know the basics about screen print. The ones on the street, they just pick up this and do the regular way they do things, but getting a perfect job, it's quite, you don't find them here. For someone to be able to do full color screen print, to do a process color screen simulation and screen print. So if it's something that we could do and then bring in people and then train and see how we could help the youth and other people coming up under this industry to be able to do it professionally, not from the regular way that we do in our screen printing. I think it would be nicer. And I also want to know, how do you do your pricing? How do you incorporate pricing? Because one of the biggest problems we have in the industry is pricing, where people will come and say, yeah, this guy can do it for me for 100 naira. This one can do it for me for... There was someone that brought in some... Like most of these guys that go around to pick up jobs, they brought in raincoats for me. I looked at the materials to use in printing on raincoats, because plastic will not stay. But you need an additive to add to it. So when I gave him the price, he said, no, he quoted 100 naira to print both 3 colors at the back and 3 colors in front for 2,000 raincoats. That he's going for a burial, that should please help him, let him go and bury his father. I said, okay, I cannot do this. There's no way I could start. I started calling Lagos, calling different places. What's the best ink to use? Because most of these things, after a while, to wash. He said I should try. I tried this thing, it was peeling. I said, okay, come and pack your things, I can't do it. And he just reluctantly packed it and said, you want to do, anyhow we'll do it, even if they wash it tomorrow and it goes up as far as in their store. Just I said, I don't do that. And that was how we stopped the job. Thank you.
I think we've done some trainings. I think Aki did some trainings where before people came in and were able to learn different things. And we all came as different people and we learned. So that's very important for us to be able to realize that, you know what, I'm going to learn something from you. You're going to learn something from me, and let's all do that together. So this can be a start. Everybody maybe can say whatever their issues are. Okay, I have issues with exposure. I have issues like in our own place. What we do is that some of our competitors were very good with tones, and because that's a tone work. You cannot. It's not a flat color. So when you have something like a person's face, you have to have tones. Now with tones, most people don't have the equipment for tones. So some of my competitors will come and say, okay, you know what, just do the artwork for me. We'll pay you for the artwork, and then they will go and print in their place. Sometimes they will even come back and say, we didn't achieve it. I say, yeah, bring it, you know what I mean. That's how we're going to improve as a group. You know, and they're now beginning to do their own tools. So as regards training, if we can all of that do that, we're all going to improve. The problem with our people also is like, a lot of times this is how you learned it. You don't want to change. That's why even in Ghana, what they do is that they take fresh people. You know, they take fresh people from the street and they teach them how they want to be taught. I've sent people for training from my office. They'll say they know it already. And if you knew it yesterday, right? That doesn't mean something is always happening. Something is always improving. You have to learn what the new step is. So, like, take for instance, like even with the aluminium frames, you can stand on top of the mesh. You can stand on top of it and your foot will not touch the ground. That's how the tension is. And you have to have a tension meter. How many people have tension meters in Nigeria? But then on the other hand, how many people even have dryers? They will just put iron on it. Then after about 4 wears, the thing washes off. You know, then you won't get a repeat customer from that. So you have to focus on what you actually want. Which kind of customer you want. If you want, you know, like people, maybe they're pretty bucket in the market kind of thing, then that's your own forte because those people also make money. So choose whichever it is you want and then go with it.